is a nice wood shed. Today I'm in the wood yard. It's a delivery day. It is a spectacular day. It is about 6:30 in the morning. It's 47 degrees, no wind, sun is shining, birds are singing, and people want to give me some Uncle Benny's for some wood. We're going to do a delivery right now. Here we go. So in the trailer right now is the load of wood that Adam and I processed yesterday. He came and helped a little bit at the end, and we got a big load here. There's a little over 4 face cords, or a full cord and a third in the trailer. It's 20-inch long stuff, and it is all halves and quarters is all it is from some bigger wood. So it is quite the load that's on here. I can tell the truck is starting to squat pretty big time. Holy smokes, it's pulling the whole truck back, and I got the parking brake on. I think she's settled down now. So I'm going to get this all hooked up, and then I got to rearrange some pieces up in the top up there because it's so full that I'm afraid to go down the road. I might lose some, so I'm going to kind of repack it a little bit, and I'm going to put the tarp over. Hopefully I can get the tarp over the top of it because it's way overfilled. And I'm going to make sure I don't lose anything. This is going to a new customer that's got a big wood shed and a wood boiler, and I should be able to show that to you if it's all right with her. And then I'm going to come back and do it again. At least that's my plan anyway. So we'll see what happens. Making sure I get everything hooked up right here. All right. I always look to make sure when I hook something up that I've got the right ball on. I've got a double-sided hitch here. I got a 2-inch and then a 2 5/16. Now I always look to make sure I've got the small one on the bottom for the trailer. Make sure I got the safety breakaway brake on right here. Double chains hooked from the bottom, crossed. Make sure that my lights are hooked up and in all the way. Make sure my jack foot is up all the way. So just kind of check it over, make sure I got it all done right. I know it's pretty easy to miss that kind of stuff. It's happened to me before where I had the wrong ball on, and I'm driving down the road and I'm thinking, did I switch the ball over? Pull over and you look, nope. So we got to jack it up, switch it around. One time I got to a delivery when I first got the trailer, and I started jacking it up, and it was on the 2-inch, and it's a 2 5/16. The whole thing started lifting up on me. So I just lowered the trailer, lowered the box down, switched it around. So stuff like that can happen. So, and I don't want to have an accident. So I always make sure, because trailering is one of those things that it's kind of a learn as you go thing, because there's really no classes for it, and it is a dangerous thing. There's a lot to know when you're trailing, especially pulling a heavy weight like this, because right now on the trailer here, this is a 10,000 pound trailer. The trailer itself weighs like 2,500 pounds. There's probably 7,000 pounds of wood in here. Let's see, so a full cord of green oak is about 5,000, and there's 4 face cords are a full cord and a third. So, but it's not green. This stuff is really dry, so it's probably only only about 5 or 6 at the most it's in there. But still, it's a big load. So we're going to rearrange it and put the tarp on. All right. So, I might even have to throw a couple chunks off. It is very full up here. But I'm going to rearrange a few things to get it so that I can get the tarp on. It's kind of overfilled, but I'd rather have it be a little more than less. I told her this would be a 4 face cord load, and it's more than that. I can just tell by how much I got heaped on here. So first thing I want to do is get the tarp out. To do that, I got to move a few chunks here. There we go. That should do it. Come on, baby. want to come out and play. I just hope I can reach all the way over, because it's really heaped up. I don't know how much extra, I can't remember how much extra tarp I've got. It doesn't look like, that looks like that's all of it. So I got to crawl up from the back over here and get some of these down. Oh, that is a big chunk of elm. Holy crap. That's what she wants, though. Yeah, I'm just gonna get some of these stacked in here just a little better from each side. I for sure don't want to lose a big chunk going down the road. I don't even know. I'm gonna throw a couple of these off. That one for sure has got to go. This one's got to go. I can tell I'll never get them to not fall off. So we'll pick these up, put them in the next load. There, that's better. I'll throw this one off. I'm gonna bring you up here in just a second to show you kind of what I try to do on the loads. Basically, try to get your pieces so there's nothing standing up to hit the net, and then try to get them so that it's more of a slope. Make sure none of the pieces are like on the edge where they can flip off. Yeah, the back side's good. I'll bring you around, I'll show you. So I just kind of tuck them down and in, and I threw those off because there's just no way I would have got the tarp over, and I might even have a hard time with it as it is. Come over up here and I'll see what I got to do without hitting my head here. See, I just kind of get them so they won't rock. Kind of tuck them down and in a little bit. If I hit bumps, I don't want them rolling off. There we go. That's better. Yeah, they're all pretty solid now. And I do that pretty much most of the time when I put a big load on. I go over it, make sure there's nothing that's like, you know, partially hanging off an edge or where it can just roll off. Now, if I can't get the tarp locked in, which looks like I might not be able, it might fit. What I'll do is I'll take the bungee cords that are on the end there and I'll just hook it down underneath over on this side here. I don't think I've ever had to do that yet. I've always had enough room, but if I have to, there's bungees on the end here and I can hook them under this. But it might be close. It might be close. Oh, it's gonna be so close. There's one. I got this one piece right. One piece right here is causing the problem, so we're just taking him off. It was hitting the bar. Oh, look at that. And that's tight. I don't think I'll get more than one crank on it here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, 2 clicks. That's it. There it is. It's on. Down the road we go for the big dump. There's the load. She is in, she is on. We're ready to go take one. start up the beast, and we're gonna make some more wood. We're gonna fill it up again. Gonna do one more delivery today in here. Now, for those of you that haven't been around a lot, or if you're wondering how I know how much wood I'm putting in here, how much I know because it's loose, because I have filled this trailer hundreds of times with wood from stacked piles. So I know that if I throw a loose pile of full cord in, if I've measured full cord, 4 feet wide, 4 feet high, 8 feet long, stacked, and it doesn't matter if it's long pieces, short pieces, if I fill it to this line, so between the boards, level, it is a full cord. If I fill it right to the top with a slight crest, it's a full cord and a third or 4 face cords. And it doesn't matter what size the wood is because it's taking up the same amount of space. And I filled this as full as I could get it. So I know I'm probably a little over 4 face cords or a full cord and a third, which is fine because I'd rather give a little bit extra. So that's how much is in there, because obviously it goes by volume. And I know a full cord is 128 cubic feet. And I know that if I was to take this, stack it, and measure it, because it's 20 inches by whatever I would end up with, it would be very, very close and a little bit over because I always throw extra wood in. That's the tightest I've ever had that tarp on without having to use the bungees, which I did one other time. If I stack wood in here, which I hate doing because it just wastes time, if I stack it in here and if I go slightly crested, full as I can get 5 face cords or a full cord and 2/3 in here. This trailer is 12 feet by 6 feet. That's how big it is, and it's a 10,000 pound rated trailer. So anyway, we got that dumped on. Now we're gonna load up the live deck. I got to do some sorting. I'll take you over here and I'll show you. So I'm going to load up the live deck, put a load of wood down here. So I've got a couple live decks full. And this stuff over here, I need to sort through. So this is a piece of willow right here we cut in the winter, and look at how this is growing. And this was cut back in January. So that I don't want, and I don't want to sell that to anybody. I don't want it. It's just willow. It's junk. That's worse than cottonwood. It is good wood if you're looking for kindling. It's a great fire starter, but I don't want to sell that to anybody. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the smaller ones in here, like this right here. This is a piece of cottonwood, which I really don't want in there either. I'm going to set those back there, and I'm going to take those logs and put those on the live deck, because those are all good ones back there. So I'm going to take a lot of the small stuff from here, set it back there, because it'll be cut up kind of with the chainsaw with that, because that's all stuff that I really don't want to go through the process. There's a lot of snakes, a lot of crooked ones in there, a lot of small ones. And that's what I'm going to do with a lot of these. I'm going to take these small ones out, but then the big ones like this elm right here, and then these nicer size ashes here. There's a bunch of ash in here that's really good. So that'll go on the processor and get cut. And then I'll grab some of the oak from back here too, so it's kind of a half and half mix again. So all this ash is eventually going to go in the processor. And then in the oak, I will pull out, ones like this, and this is probably about as small as I want to go. This is about an 8-inch piece. That's about as small as I want to go, because this way I can cut this one just in half, and that'll be a half. And then stuff small like this, I will put over there, because that I'm just going to cut up with the chainsaw, and that's going to be stuff that'll be ready to be sold right away, and that'll go in a new bin like that oak back there. Because there are small ones like here and here and here and here, but then stuff this size, anything that's like hand size and bigger, will go into the processor for this load. But there's a bunch of other nice ones in here. You can see there's some nice size stuff in here, so a lot of this will get processed. And she said she wants a full semi-load, so she said, well, how many face cords would that be, or thirds of a cord? It's going to end up being somewhere between 30 and 40, depending on when she says, okay, I've had enough. So I said, well, just keep bringing it when you think you've got enough, or your shed is as full as you want it to be. We'll quit. So she was like, okay, because she thought she had to buy the whole semi-load. And I said, no, I've got a mix of stuff anyway. So when you feel that your shed is full enough, then you'll be full enough, and you don't have to take it all, I said. But she said one more load today would be good, because that way she's got a few days to work on it, getting it put into her shed, and then next week I'll probably take her a couple more. So it's because it's just her and her daughter, so they're going to have some work to do. Their shed, I did ask her about it, and it's 20 feet deep, 50 feet long. So that's a nice shed. Open on 3 sides. Okay, it's time to get to work. there's a pile of wood in front of the processor. So we got a bunch of logs brought over here. A lot of this it's been ash, stuff that was cut last winter. There's some elm in there too, I see. It was cut back in the woods, and there's a bunch more to go here yet, but I cleared out this area. Threw some of the little stuff over here. Put the nasty, ugly willow over there into that pile. And there's still all kinds of good logs in here. You know, stuff like this. This little guy I'll take out, that little guy I'll take out, that little guy I'll take out. But there's all kinds of good stuff in here yet that I'll be able to run for this batch to where I can do just half splits on almost all of these is probably what I'll do. So when I'm processing this, I'll just raise the 4-way wedge up, and I'll use the bottom part of the wedge and get a single split. Like I said, pretty much anything hand size and bigger, because this way this drops into the trough. I'll show you that over here. Is when you drop it into the splitting trough, it is it's about I don't know, 4 inches wide. So your log centers itself really nicely. Anything smaller than that, it can be left or right, and what happens is sometimes it doesn't get split at all. So I really don't want any of that really tiny stuff. So you can see here, so yeah, this is, okay, so it's about 9 inches, 9.5, maybe it's 10 inches, something like that. That's about how wide this is. I guess the new ones, from what I've been told, and I don't know this, the new ones, these are closer together. So you drop small logs in there, and it holds it better. So, because there's room here, this could be brought in probably another 2 inches on this side. It could be brought in that way, just maybe a half an inch or so. And the whole thing is narrower, so your small pieces center themselves better. But that's been fixed, I guess, in the new machines now. It's closer together, and you can do smaller pieces. Because here, I'll bring the camera down so you can see. So if you look here, there's, I don't know, that's got to be 5-6 inches right here. 5-6, oh, probably about 5 inches over there. So a little bitty log can easily turn and go right off the side, and nothing happens to it. The only option you have is to lower your wedge all the way so that you bring your wings way down here, and then you get a split on them. But I find it's better just to have the little bitty stuff not go through the processor, and you run more of the bigger stuff. Like this right here is just ideal, because that'll fall right into the trough really nice and be a single split. And then the bigger ones like this, or like this here, this will be a 4-way split, or the big ones like that right there, that'll be a 4-way. So you're gonna see the processor run tomorrow, because this video is already going to be long, and the processor, I'm going to run that for hours. So you're going to come back tomorrow to see the processor run. 5:30 a.m. I'll be here. You should be here. Good night, Irene.